Maybe, like many people over 60, you wake up every morning with a small ritual that seems harmless, almost automatic. You take a capsule, maybe two. You accompany them with a glass of water while thinking about your day. You do it without hesitation, convinced that you're taking care of your body, investing in your health, protecting what you value most, your energy, your independence, your lucidity. It's a learned routine, reinforced by ads, advice from friends, well-intentioned recommendations. A pill for the heart, another for memory, another for the bones. Everything seems to make sense. After all, you've always heard that vitamins are good. That they help you stay strong. That they're essential to age with dignity and quality of life. You've heard, time and again, that vitamins are allies. That they strengthen your immune system, care for your skin, preserve mental sharpness and even your mood. Maybe someone recommended them to you in a quick appointment, or you saw their promise printed on a brightly colored label. In many households, they line up on the breakfast table like little health soldiers. A kind of invisible shield against decline. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself if that shield is really protecting you? Or if, without realizing it, it might be harming you? Because what if I told you that some of those very vitamins, instead of helping you, could be weakening your legs, silently? Not with obvious pain or dramatic symptoms, but with subtle signals, easy to confuse with the passage of time. Muscles that no longer respond like before. Dizziness that appears for no reason. More frequent stumbles. Sensations we attribute to aging, but that could actually be caused, little by little, by those capsules you take so confidently. And the most worrying thing, they could be affecting your balance, compromising your mobility, and endangering your independence. That independence you've defended all your life. That ability to get up on your own, to go out for a walk, to move without help, which could be at risk, and you don't even know it. This is not an alarmist message. It's not about creating fear where there is none. It's about turning on a light. Because sometimes, what harms us the most isn't what we don't know, but what we think we know too well. What we adopt as routine, without questioning it. And the truth is, many of the habits we maintain with good intentions may actually be working against us. Not because we're irresponsible, but because no one told us that, with age, the body changes. And with it, our needs change. What was healthy yesterday may be excessive today. What used to help, may now harm. Today we will talk, with total clarity, about 3 very popular vitamins that could be sabotaging your mobility without you realizing it, and about one silent habit even more common than any pill that could be accelerating the deterioration of your legs. Stay until the end. Not out of curiosity, but for something much more important, because what you're going to discover can make a real difference in your life. This is not just another fact or a passing recommendation. It's information that can help you make different decisions, smarter decisions, more aligned with what your body needs today. Because the difference between living with freedom and living limited by falls, weakness, or dependence, is often not in one big choice, but in a series of small everyday decisions. Like that pill you take every morning. Like that supplement you've had in the bathroom for years. This is not a message of fear. It's a message of power. Living with awareness does not mean living with fear. It means living awake. Understanding that every stage of life brings new challenges, yes, but also new possibilities. That you can take care of your body, protect your health, strengthen your independence, without falling into the trap of doing the same thing just because you've always done it. Today is the perfect moment to start. Because every day that passes is a new opportunity to choose better. And because your body, even after 60, still responds to your decisions. Give it what it needs. But above all, avoid what harms it. For decades we were taught a simple, almost unquestionable message. Vitamins equal health. An easy formula to remember. Almost comforting. Feeling tired? Vitamin. Want to take care of your memory? Vitamin. Worried about your bones? More vitamins. The market understood this quickly. And so, supplements began to take a privileged place in the routine of millions of people. One capsule with coffee. Another with lunch. Another at nightfall. Without realizing it, we turned a specific tool into an almost religious habit. An act of faith more than an informed decision. But behind that routine lies a truth that is rarely mentioned: not all supplements are good. And many, far from being harmless, can become a silent threat. Many older adults don't know this, because no one explained it clearly. But when certain nutrients are consumed in excess, or when the body doesn't really need them, the result can be the opposite of what you expect. What began as an act of care can become a risk factor. It's not about demonizing vitamins. It's not about saying that all are bad. The key question is another: are you taking them because your body needs them, or simply because you've been doing it for years? Are you doing it because you're informed, or because someone once told you it was good for you? Today we'll look at 3 specific vitamins: E, A, and B6. All widely recommended, all available without prescription, and all potentially harmful if not taken with care, especially after the age of 60. Because these 3 vitamins, E, A, and B6, don't just affect your general health. It's not something vague or distant. They directly affect your body in a fundamental aspect: your legs, your muscles, your ability to move safely. And when those functions begin to deteriorate, it's not just a physical change. It's a profound change, one that impacts your confidence, your way of living, your relationship with the world. The most worrying thing is that this deterioration often doesn't give clear warnings. It arrives slowly, stealthily, disguised as part of aging. You feel it's harder to get up, that you get dizzy more often, that your steps are no longer as firm as before. And you attribute it to aging, because that's what we all do. But what if it's not age? What if that wear and tear is a silent, accumulated effect, and completely preventable? That's what makes this video different. Because we're not going to tell you what you already know. We're not going to repeat the same old advice. We're going to talk about what almost no one talks about: how certain vitamins you take every day, with the best of intentions, could actually be working against you. Because this is no small matter. It's your quality of life. It's your ability to walk on your own, to climb stairs, to go outside without fear. It's the difference between needing help and being able to rely on yourself. And when we talk about independence in older age, we're not just talking about comfort. We're talking about dignity, about freedom, about life. That's why, before opening that bottle, you take almost without thinking, pause. And listen. Because what comes next could help you protect the most valuable thing you have: your autonomy. Vitamin E. The silent weakener. For years, vitamin E has been treated as a symbol of advanced health. It's credited with benefits that sound almost miraculous: improves circulation, protects the heart, keeps the skin young, boosts the immune system, fights free radicals. It's easy to understand why so many older people take it with conviction. No prescription needed. It's on the shelves of any pharmacy or supermarket. The promise is clear: more vitality, less aging. So, millions include it in their daily routine, thinking they're doing something positive. A simple, everyday action that seems to have no downsides. But few know that, in excess, vitamin E can become a hidden enemy. And it doesn't act quickly. It acts slowly, from within, undermining your mobility. Unlike other vitamins like C, which the body easily eliminates through urine when there's too much, vitamin E works very differently. It's fat-soluble. That means it doesn't leave quickly. It stays. It accumulates in the liver and in the body's fat tissues, as if settling in silently, without asking permission. And it does so for weeks, months, even years. In small daily doses that seem harmless, it builds up a silent reserve that doesn't always bring benefits. On the contrary, over time, that accumulation can begin to interfere with vital functions. What once seemed to give you energy starts to drain your strength. One of the first systems to suffer is the muscular one. Especially in older adults who, just by aging, already face a progressive loss of muscle mass. It's a double threat. On one hand, the body naturally loses strength. On the other, that supposedly helpful vitamin starts weakening even more what was already disadvantaged. The result? Small signs that may seem irrelevant at first but say much more than they appear to. Difficulty getting up from the couch. Dizziness you didn't feel before. A sense of imbalance when turning, walking, going up a ramp. Unexpected fatigue while walking through supermarket aisles or doing simple tasks. Subtle changes that we attribute to aging, when they could actually be the silent alarm of an undetected excess. And not just that. Vitamin E also has an anticoagulant effect. It thins the blood. This might seem positive in certain medical contexts, but it becomes extremely risky when combined with anticoagulant medications, like the ones many older adults take for heart or circulation problems. In that scenario, what should protect you can complicate things. It increases the risk of large bruises from minor bumps, of internal bleeding after a mild fall, of serious complications from wounds that previously wouldn't have been a problem. And the most alarming part, there are no labels warning you. No notice saying, "Careful, this may affect your balance," because the effects don't arrive with shouts. They come with whispers. Disguised as something normal. Something inevitable. As just your age, but maybe it's not. Vitamin A. The invisible enemy of your bones and muscles. Vitamin A is perhaps one of the most admired. It has a spotless reputation. For generations it's been credited with almost everything: protecting eyesight, improving skin, boosting the immune system, helping growth, preventing infections. It's found in many supplements, multivitamins, cod liver oil capsules, and fortified foods. And it's consumed frequently without any control or review. As if it were a guarantee of wellness, a kind of natural boost that never hurts. But excess is a hidden risk. Being also fat-soluble, like vitamin E, it's not eliminated easily. It stays. It settles. It accumulates in the liver, in the soft tissues of the body, and from there, it slowly begins to alter your internal balance. It doesn't cause fever. It doesn't produce sharp pain. It doesn't give obvious signs. The damage happens silently. The first thing to lose resistance is your skeletal system, especially your legs, your hips, the foundations that keep you standing, precisely the areas you need most to remain independent. Various studies have revealed a concerning pattern. Elevated levels of vitamin A are directly associated with an accelerated loss of bone density. In other words, your bones, which should be your support structure, start becoming more fragile, more porous, more prone to fractures. And we're not talking about serious accidents. A simple stumble, a light bump on the corner of a table, a mild fall when stepping down, can have devastating consequences. And as if that weren't enough, the effect also extends to the muscles. They begin to lose firmness, tone, resistance. You notice that climbing stairs becomes a challenge. That hip pain shows up more frequently. That your legs feel heavy, less stable. But like many people, you attribute it to aging. Because everyone tells you that it's normal, but what if it's not? Because that's the most dangerous trap of vitamin A toxicity. It doesn't warn with loud signals. It gives no immediate alerts. It manifests as progressive deterioration, so slow that it's confused with the simple passage of time. Like a drop falling on a rock, imperceptible in the moment, but over time it leaves a deep mark. Bone and muscle fragility doesn't appear overnight, it silently installs itself into your life. You stop walking long distances. You avoid stairs. You sit down more often. Not because you don't want to move, but because your body begins to limit you. And the most unsettling part is that limitation may have started not because of age, but due to a constant, excessive dose of a poorly managed vitamin. One small capsule. A daily gesture. A decision that seemed right. Vitamin B6. Ally or silent aggressor. Vitamin B6 is one of the most promoted in the world of adult wellness. It's credited with benefits that sound almost essential: improves brain function, brings mental clarity, fights fatigue, regulates the nervous system. It's present in general multivitamins, memory supplements, energizing formulas, products aimed at older adults. And as with many vitamins, its constant presence in the market makes us believe it can't harm us. That the more, the better. But that's not always the case. Because when a certain dose is exceeded, 100 milligrams per day or more, something many supplements exceed without a clear warning, vitamin B6 can shift from being an ally to becoming a dangerous aggressor. What many don't know is that vitamin B6, in high amounts, can directly affect the peripheral nervous system. What does this mean? That it can damage the nerves responsible for controlling movement and sensation in your limbs, especially in the legs. And it usually starts with very subtle signs: a slight tingling in your feet, a strange sensation when walking on certain surfaces, a discomfort that comes and goes without a clear pattern. But if not detected in time, that tingling can become numbness. Then, muscular weakness. And finally, a progressive disconnection between what you think your legs should do and what they actually do. Your walking becomes uncertain, unstable, dangerous. Beyond vitamins, the silent danger of inactivity. So far, we've talked about supplements. About those little capsules that, instead of protecting you, might be silently weakening your legs, your nerves, your bones. But there's something even more common, more everyday, more invisible, and much more dangerous: inactivity. Because unlike vitamins, which come with labels, bottles, instructions, inactivity has no warnings. It sneaks into your routine without you noticing. It makes no noise, raises no suspicion. And yet, it can be the main cause of physical deterioration that slowly, but profoundly, changes your life. It all starts with small, seemingly harmless decisions. One day you decide not to go for a walk because it's cold. Another day you choose the elevator instead of the stairs because you're tired. Then you realize you'd rather stay home than go to the market, and you order your groceries by phone. Later, you put an extra chair in the kitchen to sit while you cook. None of this seems alarming on its own, but your body notices. Because our body is designed to move, to stretch, to hold itself, to resist, to balance. And when we stop demanding movement, the body adapts. But adapting doesn't mean improving, it means slowly shutting down. Muscles that shorten, joints that stiffen, bones that lose density, balance that becomes unstable. And all of that leads to what you fear most: a fall, a fracture, a sudden turn in your independence. And the hardest part is that many times there's no disease behind it. It's not osteoporosis, nor arthritis, nor neuropathy. It's just a sedentary lifestyle pattern that settled in over time. You chose to move less to feel more comfortable, and without meaning to, you gave your body permission to weaken. But the good news is that, unlike some injuries or nerve damage, this can be reversed. Because the real enemy is not time. It's not aging. Not even vitamins. The enemy is forgetting that your body was made to move. The enemy is giving up before trying. And as long as you can take one step, no matter how small, you'll always be in time to start changing. And now what do? Awareness, review, decision. Maybe you're thinking, and now what do I do? How do I protect the independence and mobility I value so much? Review the supplements you take. Don't do it out of guilt or fear, but with intention. Open that drawer, that bathroom shelf, that kitchen cabinet where you keep your bottles. Look at them one by one. Ask yourself honestly, do I really know what's in them? Have I carefully read the dosages? Am I taking this because I need it, or because someone told me it was good years ago? Am I keeping this routine by conviction, or just out of habit? Sometimes, keeping a habit out of inertia can be more harmful than letting it go. Your body has changed. And with it, your decisions must change too. Because what helped at 40 doesn't necessarily help at 70. Because health is not about accumulating products, but about understanding what your body needs today. Consult with a doctor who understands your stage of life. Not all professionals are trained in geriatrics, and that makes a huge difference. A doctor specialized in older adults won't just look at your test results, but will know how to interpret your context, your current medications, your diet, your activity level, your health history. You deserve personalized, in-depth care that doesn't stop at prescribing more pills. Ask for tests that include not only general blood work, but also specific vitamin level analysis. Don't guess. Don't assume. The clarity that numbers provide is a powerful tool. Knowing whether you're unknowingly accumulating excess nutrients could be the key to preventing falls, weakness, imbalance, before they happen. And above all, go back to the basics, real food. Vitamins weren't invented in a lab. They exist in nature. In the colors of fruits. In the texture of vegetables. In healthy oils. In whole grains. In clean proteins. That's where your body's real fuel is. Everything else, the supplements, the bottles, the powders, should be just that. A complement, not the foundation. A temporary support, not a lifelong dependency. Eating well, moving, breathing fresh air, staying active, is still the best medicine. And the best part is, it's in your hands. This is not a message of fear, it's an act of power. It means you respect your body enough to care for it intelligently. That you can still make choices that improve your life, and that it's never too late to start.